All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is lovely to have all of you here this morning for this kickoff of sorts party for this new program. And I have to tell you, it has been a trip and a half how it all shows up. And it was this morning at 5 a.m. that I was like, oh my God, that's the information I've been waiting for, as that information dropped in. So welcome, welcome, welcome to the Universal Laws Update. This is the introduction to this program, and it's going to be so much fun. I actually already cast a circle, so everybody is sitting in a ton of light and love and community and joy, and an opportunity to have more clarity, more wonder, and just truly a lot of fun, because that's what this is really about, is having fun and getting some questions answered, having some conversations about what used to be called the universal laws, what I used to call the universal laws. But I'm very clear that we are going to be talking about the old rules and then the new ways of doing things. So I certainly hope you have your drink of choice. It's going to be a really short program. It is just planned to be 45 minutes, and you can participate as it works for you. Drop in, watch a little, ask a couple questions, pop out, go back and watch the video later. It is that kind of program. So my name is Bonnie Sachs, and yes, I did indeed write a book. Probably going to come out backwards. The Health and Happiness Guide to the Universal Laws. I did that nearly 7 years ago, which is a whole new version of tripping me out that 7 years goes by like that, right? 7 years just zip and off. We go. So I wrote the book 7 years ago when I was still reading the Akashic Records. I was a health coach at the time, and I just knew that there was something out there for me to get on pen and paper. And so I used the Akashic Records, or what I thought was the Akashic Records at the time, to get some information about the universal laws. And since that time, I have gone down a lot of paths and discovered that what I was actually doing was connecting with my higher self, my soul, my I am presence. There's a lot of words that we use for that. You'll hear me often talk about my higher self. Those are the words that I use. So I accessed some information, wrote a book, and then it just kind of sat out there. It was on Amazon. People would occasionally read the book and send me messages and stuff, but it wasn't anything that I really did a lot with until just recently. And how it has shown up is that I am using that information as the basis, the way of looking at things, and hopping off that point to see everything that has changed in the last 7 years. Now, in the last 7 years, the frequency of the planet has gone up significantly. And there is a lot higher frequencies available to us, and there is so much more that we can use to manifest what we want, to create what is next for us. And so that's what we're going to do. Now, the universal laws, I would say, are kind of like claims of truth. And I am sure there are a number of you that have read or listened to the books by Paul Selig. Starts with I Am the Word and ends with, at the moment, the book that is being published, I think, in just 2 weeks, called The Book of Innocence. And those claims of truth are statements that are always true. So one of those examples is that we are one love, one source, one light. That is a statement that is always true. It never changes. It's always the truth. Although there are certainly times when I'm like, yeah, I'm not one with that, or that, or that. And if you catch me on Instagram, there have been a few times that I've been having conversations with God like, yeah, I don't want to be one with the spiders or the cockroaches or sometimes even some people. Doesn't have anything to do with it though, because it is one of those principles. It is a claim of truth that is always true, whether I want to step into that or not. So we are going to be talking about those kinds of things. So you might be asking about, why should you learn these? Why are these important? Why does it matter? One, I love this. I really love this. I would say when you know the rules, you know how to play the game. Now, these aren't exactly rules, but there's some really good principles, some really great things to understand about how the world works from an energetic perspective, right? You might want to know that the frequency of manifestation is available to all of us, right? That it is just there for us to ask for. Like, yes, I'd like to have some manifestation and I'd like to create with more power. Perhaps you'd like to remember that energy is real. I was actually having a conversation with my husband this morning, and he's like, huh, that's a real concept. I mean, I know energy is real because I turn on the light and the light turns on, and that's energy. But you're not talking about that, are you? I'm not talking about that kind of energy. That certainly qualifies. But how about the energy that we can create with that is all around us that we don't see? Now, when you know that energy is real, that you can learn how to create and work with the energy that's right here in the field, your whole world can transform. Suddenly you start saying, wow, I'm not stuck with this thing, this heavy weight in my chest. Suddenly you start saying, I think I could probably create that idea that I have a little differently. Now that's a really cool opportunity. When you start to realize that there are frequencies all around us, and that as you use those frequencies, you start to transform the things that are in your throat. Maybe you're transforming the thoughts that are in your head. Or maybe it's something really simple like, what the freak is this headache I have going on? And how can I heal that myself? Now, that's something I really want to be able to work with. And we'll be talking about that principle that energy is real. What's another reason you might be interested in taking this course? Your higher self, what I was talking about earlier, you might call your soul, is actually looking for more information. Your higher self is looking to understand these principles, is looking to know that your personality has this awareness. Well, that's kind of interesting. I'm actually looking to have this information so that I know how to create with more power, so that I remember that I'm worthy exactly as I am, that there's nothing for me to do but to start to have more awareness that I am way more worthy, way more powerful, way more filled with light than I actually remember. How about that? When you remember how powerful and amazing you truly are, what could change in your life? Maybe a few relationships. Maybe you'd really like to change your job. Maybe there are some things that you would like to create. Perhaps it's something in your house. Perhaps it's a piece of artwork. Maybe you want to write a book. How about that? Wouldn't that be really cool? You suddenly go, oh, how awesome is that? I'd like to do more of that. When you remember these principles, when you put these ideas into practice every day, week to week, then suddenly you're going, ooh, watch me create. Watch things move out of the way that have been blocks to my information for a really long time. Now, that has certainly been the case with me. I spent a long time, nearly 50 years, kind of wandering around doing what I do. I went to college, I got married, I had awesome kids, I raised them. But there was always this piece in the background that was like, but there's something more. There's something more that I'm here to do. And I had this like kind of playing in the back of my head, right? This recording that just kept saying, but there's something more, there's something more, there's something more. And it wasn't until I met a very dear friend of mine now that said to me, I really want you to take this course. I really want you to do this. Learn about alchemy, learn how to heal. And I was like, there is something more. And so that's what I'd wish for you, that this be that kind of program for you, where you have been walking around going, I know there's something more. I know there's something more for me. I know there's a way for me to create that thing that has been like nagging at me in the back of my head. That's what this is. Yeah, how cool is that? So your higher self has been saying, yo, here it is. And I'm ready to help you with that. Another reason to take a look at this is to connect with other people who are thinking in the same way that you are, who are striving to make a difference in the world, who are labeling themselves as spiritually curious, spiritually interested, spiritually motivated. Wouldn't it be awesome to connect with people like that? To have interactions with people who are like, oh, yeah, I get that. Oh, yeah, I understand that. I had that happen to me. Oh my gosh, that just literally showed up last week. And when you say that, you're like, ah, yes, here is my tribe. Here is my community. Here are the people who are going to support me in my process of understanding who I am, making a difference in the world. How awesome is that? You will definitely be around like-minded people and have loads of conversations and connections with people. Now, I'm going to tell you a secret. It's still in development, but there is a spiritual community app getting ready to be launched. It's called Upward. And it is going to be an app where we can be in community with each other, where we can text each other back and forth, where there will be a library of videos and audios and podcasts for you to listen to. And there will be courses that you can click on and take. How awesome is that? I'm truly excited about that piece. And it's going to be part of this program. Fourth reason I have. You are somebody who is always looking for an opportunity for growth, for evolution. Not just growth like, I want to learn how to knit or to paint or something like that. All valid things to do. But you are somebody who is saying, I'm looking for growth and evolution. I'm looking to just keep being more in my truth, being more in who I really am as a soul, like deep into my heart. You'll find that here. We'll be talking about that. Now, another cool aspect of this course, as you may see me moving my hands on occasion, is that I do healing alchemy. I am constantly working with the field and working in this container of a program. I am constantly putting really high frequencies into the container, and I am also available when you are struggling a little, when you are in a place where you're like, my heart is beating so fast and I can't possibly settle it down. Can you please help? Yes, absolutely I can. Because one of the things I can do is give your body some higher frequencies to operate from. We can give it more grace and give it more love and help you with that fear that has your heart racing like crazy. Of course, I realized I just slipped into the we pronoun, and the we that is me is actually my higher self and my healing team. Now, if you're like, I don't know about all that, I don't know if I agree with that, I don't understand that, that's okay. Not a requirement in order to be part of this program. I just wanted to explain to you that the reason why I was talking about we is because I bring a whole group of souls with me into this program to help, to give healings and assistance to each and every one of you that are having some sort of issue that day. And we all have issues. I know I do. Oh my gosh, if you had been in my house at 5 o'clock this morning or 9 o'clock last night, you'd be like, I don't know about that chick. But the truth is, we all have things that go on. We all have times that we are like struggling, access our information, trust what is happening to us. Perhaps we're just having an ache or a pain or a headache or something going on. Isn't it really cool to know that you can be in a program where you can get support with that with a simple text? Oh my gosh, I have a headache that I just can't seem to get rid of. Can you help? And knowing that there is somebody on the other end of that text answering you, going, absolutely. It's one of my favorite words. Absolutely. A favorite phrase of mine is also happy to help, because that is absolutely true. I am happy to help you move out more of the fear or the anger or the frustration that shows up in your everyday life. It's part of what I'm here for. I love doing that. And that's a really cool aspect of this program, the Universal Laws Update. So, what exactly will it look like? Well, we will hop on every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. It'll all be recorded, and you can grab your favorite drink, whatever that looks like. I highly suggest a muffin, a cookie, but then that's just me. And we're going to sit and we're going to talk about the universal laws, about what people say out there in the world, like the law of attraction, the law of manifestation. We're going to talk about those laws, and then we're going to talk about how they've been updated. What's some new information that is available? What about new frequencies that have changed how we look at those laws? Isn't that cool? We'll actually sit and go, here's what we thought. Here's what we know. I think that sounds like an awesome thing to do. I am personally very excited about that, because it keeps showing up over and over again how there have been a lot of things that have transformed in the last 7 years. Loads and loads of information is now available to us. And we have an opportunity to take a look at that, to learn about it, to do it together. I'm really looking forward to having a bunch of friends with me, looking at all the changes, all the things that have gone up in frequency. It'll be really fun. We're also going to take some time in that 45 minutes to chat about what you've noticed over the last week. So next Monday, we'll sit down and we'll be like, okay, what's been going on with you? What have you seen? Did you have an awareness of how things are starting to transform in your life? Transformation can happen like this, but sometimes we don't notice it. So we can be gifted with a lot more awareness, with a lot more clarity, with a lot more of a frequency that we call wonder. And that's an opportunity to just be like, oh my God, you know what I saw? I was driving to work and I was running late and I just wasn't sure how I was going to get to work on time. And if I wasn't to work on time, this was going to happen and that was going to happen. And I was just, oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden I remembered being in class and talking about how I could stop and take a deep breath. Did you do that? Take a deep breath. And maybe you reminded yourself just one simple word: trust. Trust, trust, trust. And suddenly, in that moment, cars started moving out of your way. Lights started turning green. The perfect parking spot showed up. So you just zipped in and were able to get out of your car, and everything just aligned for you to be to work even a few minutes early. Now, if you are somebody who's going, right, I encourage you to try it. Remind yourself to trust. Remind yourself that you are always creating with more magic, with more power than you remember. And suddenly you watch those things move out of your way, and it all unfolds exactly as you wanted. So we'll talk about those kinds of things, the things that show up for you all week long. You might want to write them down. You might just be sitting here next Monday going, oh yeah, that's right. I did have this one time. And we'll share those things. That'll be an opportunity for us to share, to be in community. Now, what if you have one of those days where you're like, oh my God, nothing is going right. I don't care. I'm not taking a breath. I'm not doing anything. It's not working for me. Bring those to the program as well, because we can work on those things. We can see where there is a block, and we can help you transform it. That's another thing that we will be doing in this program. Transforming those blocks to you creating what you most want. That's called healing, but it's also called conversation. It's also called community. And it's the place where we can just keep trusting how it shows up. And then what we'll do in the time remaining is we'll just chat. We'll create something new. I'll give you some hints that you can put into your everyday life, like the breathing piece, perhaps like journaling, things that you can do. Perhaps there's a mantra that I can give you where you're like, oh, yes, that really works for me. This week, when you're going about your day and you need some information that is not available to you, where you're just like, I have no idea. What am I doing? Am I going here or am I going there? You can always use a mantra like, I am in my knowing. I am in my knowing. I am in my knowing. Or, I already know the answer. I just have to wait for it. I already know the answer. I just have to wait for it. The answer is coming to me easily and without a block. How would that change your life? How would putting those kinds of things into your life change your relationships, change your work life, change your free time? Yeah, that free time piece. Maybe you're busy creating a new relationship. Maybe you're looking to start a new business. Maybe you're just looking to amp up your current business. How about that? We'll do that. Can you believe we would do all of that in 45 minutes? Absolutely. Because, of course, everything is actually happening instantaneously. It's just the place where we start to think, it's not happening for me. It happens for them, but it doesn't happen for me. I understand that. I've had a lot of that over the years. All my friends are way more powerful and creative and beautiful than I am. But that's not true. It's not true at all. And all we have to do is be in a space where we get an opportunity to remember that that's not true. Now, how is that for really cool? The opportunity to get some ideas to implement into your life, that's really cool. Practical things that you can put into your everyday life to start knowing that energy is real, to start having an awareness that you are a higher self, that there is more going on than we have an awareness of in our traditional life. An opportunity to be reminded that we're all connected. And that person on the street, the person on the street corner that's asking for money, is just as connected to you as the person that you call mom or dad or your child. How about the opportunity to learn just a little bit more about what karma really is? People throw that word karma around all the time. Wouldn't it be really cool to be in a place where you talked about what karma really is and how it actually works? Have some clarity around that. So maybe you weren't so flipped out or freaked out like I was when I heard it. I spent a lot of time going, oh my God, what is this? Maybe you just want to have more awareness about energy and frequency and vibration and all those universal laws that people throw around. You can go, oh, I know about that. Yes. Maybe you just want to understand a little bit more about that fear that regularly shows up. You're sitting in your easy chair at night and you start feeling that panic. There is nothing easy about a chair that you feel panic in, and you're just like, oh my God, I just can't even get a breath. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to work through some of that. And of course, show you how you can get more information to heal that you're not stuck with that. I am really so freaking excited about this program. I think it is going to be the most amazing thing that I have nearly ever done. I do have to give some kudos to my kids because they're pretty amazing. But we'll talk about the law of attraction, and we're going to talk about the divine timing. How about that one? We're going to talk about manifestation and attraction, and we'll talk about abundance. OMG, abundance. How about that idea that everything is always available to us? Here, just for fun, just play along with me. Put your hands out. You can put one hand out, you can put both hands out. You can also trust that your higher self is gathering everything they possibly can. You put your hands out and ask for what you want more of. Maybe you'd like to have a little bit more money show up this week. Ask for it. Maybe you're looking for an answer to a question that's been going on and on and on in your head. That question that just keeps spinning, spinning, spinning. Oh my God, if I could just get an answer to that. Maybe that's what you're looking for. Ask for it right here. If you don't want to put your hands out, you don't have to, but ask for it. Intention it. Did you know you're that powerful that you can actually ask exactly for what you want? Right there, ask for it. You got it? Because what you put in your hand, we're going to wrap with more wonder, more clarity, more love, more trust, more truth, more love, more love, more love. And ask for that to reveal itself in the next week. Let's add some magic to that. Because we can. Magic is actually a frequency, and you can add that to your life simply by asking. Yeah, we're going to do that. And then we're going to send it out into the quantum field, your intention, so that it is created with more power, with more love, with more light. That's how that works. So between now and next Monday, keep reminding yourself of what you asked for. Keep reminding yourself of that intention that was right there. And keep knowing that you're always worth it. That everything is always answered right there. Trust, trust, trust. How about that? That's a really powerful intention. And of course, if you want to create some more stuff, that's all you have to do. It really is that easy. And it's a great example of what we're going to be doing. Chatting about what used to be, bringing it forward to present time, to understanding these cosmic principles like energy is real, like you are your higher self, like love is the only truth, like we're all here for the growth and evolution of our souls. And then we're going to talk about how to implement it into our lives. We'll talk about what's happened over the last week, healing what we want to heal, moving the blocks that have gotten in our way, working on the fear or perhaps the anger. Maybe you're like me and you have a little disbelief. We'll work on that too. And of course, if you can't be present, there is always a recording available. And you guys will be the very first ones in on that new spiritual community app, Upward. I want to send each and every one of you that watches this huge blessings, huge love for how you've already showed up in the world. Everything that you've done to this point is exactly as you intended it to be. You designed it that way. Yes, I'm including all those things that you did that you're like, yeah, but you don't know about this. And then there was this that time, and then I did this thing, and this is how I screwed it up. I'm including all of that because all of those experiences, zoop, catch you right here. And I understand, I know what a beautiful soul you are, what a beautiful human you are, and how much light you have brought to everyone in your life. So I want to thank you, not just for being here, but thank you for how you have shown up, how you continue to show up every day of your life, whether you remember it or not. There will be a link available for you guys if you're interested in joining me. It's going to be a different link than it was this morning. That will be a link that will continue on for the rest of the program. It is going to be a 9-week program, and it is going to be $199 for that 9-week program. And there will be a lot more information for you. Available on my website, available on social media. And I definitely want to include you. If there's anything I can do to help you this week, please feel free to contact me through Messenger, through Facebook, through Instagram. There are a lot of ways to get a hold of me. You might even be somebody who has my Google number or my cell phone number. Text me. I'm happy, happy, happy to help you. Happy, happy, happy to help you. Whether you do this or not, I'm here for you. I thank you for all you are and all you do. And I look forward to seeing you next week at 9 o'clock. Have a great week. I love you.